Could you lead us in the pledge of allegiance, the veteran?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Approval of minutes, October 20th, 2025, open session. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Any opposed? None. Motion passes. October 20th, 2025, closed session. Is there a motion?
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Any opposed?
No.
None. Motion passes. Okay, public comment, motion to open to the public, 3 minutes per speaker.
Motion.
Second.
No, we'll do it. No. All right, so anyone would like to speak on any topic, not just anything you want to talk about? Just step right up, state your name and the town you're from. Come on up.
No, please. Since we have so many people here trying to do the right thing by your mayor's proclamation, can we have that first before we go into any further
Okay.
discussion by the public?
That's fine. So
Title.
that's good for you guys.
Yeah. Yes.
All right. Okay,
Thank you, Zane.
no problem. So certificate of appreciation. So, there are few individuals in this nation that step up to the plate and do the right thing, for their volunteerism, their love of the country. And we have one of those individuals with us today is Scott McDowell. So I was speaking to Scott, I said, you know what? Let's recognize you. It's always a good thing. So I have a certificate of appreciation I'd like to read into the record for Scott McDowell. The certificate is proudly presented in recognition of your outstanding dedication, generosity, and commitment to our veterans and the community through your leadership of the Scotty Mac Sippy Poo BBQ. The kindergarten came up. Your tireless efforts have transformed a backyard gathering into a nationally recognized annual fundraiser, raising significant funds for the Fisher House Foundation, Corporal Jed C. Parker Memorial American Legion Post 153, and the Paramus Veterans Memorial Home. Your vision, compassion, and dedication exemplify the spirit of service, patriotism, and community that inspires all the residents of Woodcliff Lake. Presented this 10th day of November, 2025 at the regular meeting of the Mayor and Council of Woodcliff Lake, signed by Mayor Carlos Rendo and Borough Council. So congratulations, Scott. Come on up and say to the judge.
Does anything?
Speech.
Everybody here that knows what I do, but so I have this crazy, as you can see, this Facebook page, that's a barbecue page on Facebook. And I decided to finally use social media for something good. Like this. So we started this page. It's all over the country. It's people from Canada, we have people from everywhere. And I said, listen, the biggest thing I want to do is I want to raise money for veterans. So my son Chase is here. I didn't want to slow down. So about 7 years old, he had asked me, he goes, Dad, why do all those gentlemen wear those same hats? I said, well, explain to them those are our veterans. And when we see them, we go and we shake their hands. And he started really liking it. So we started going to like the Legion Posts on Sunday mornings and having breakfast with the veterans, and they just absolutely loved it. They look forward to us coming. So kind of where it started, and then I started the page, and then it just started taking off. And people were like, hey, listen, I want to buy a picture of a t-shirt with your face on it. So we started. So long story short, we started raising so much money. And they just were just keen on my passion for the veterans. Like all these people here, all my friends that came, sorry. So they're like, hey, listen. They're like, hey, listen.
Yeah, here we
We want to meet you. I'm like, what? They're like, yeah, let's do something somewhere. So I went to my buddy Jason, the guy who owns Demers Farms. I said, listen, all these knuckleheads want to come and meet me here in Jersey. He's like, let's do it here. Farm's yours. So that's where the first one started, first event started. I cooked for 600 people and 597 people came down that roadway at one time.
Wow.
We're like, just mayhem, just complete mayhem. But throughout the years, it gets more and more refined. And last year we had a great event up in the field. I did speak to the mayor. I said, listen, next year, let's not.
We're gonna coordinate, we're gonna
Yes.
coordinate.
Coordinate,
Yeah.
because I feel
Say
bad
that.
about it.
Yeah, yeah.
You gotta pump up my event. He's like, I'm trying to pump up Book of Fight Day, you know? But I got connected with Fisher House. The first thing I was gonna go to was obviously Wounded Warriors. But at the time, they had a really bad rating. Like 10% of the money was going to veterans, 90% was going to
Wow.
costs and
Wow.
everything. All advertising, all everything. Fisher House, 92% of the money goes to the veterans and under 10% goes to staff.
Wow.
So I jumped on with them and a couple years ago, a lady who managed my account, she's like, Scotty Mac, I'm gonna put it out there. You raise 100,000 this year, the next house, Fisher House that goes underground, we're dedicating it to you and your group. And we got Memphis. Last year I went down to Memphis for the grand opening and we're on the
Wow.
they have,
It's awesome.
they just put their 100th house on the ground. We had number 98.
Wow.
So it's pretty amazing. We with all my friends and everybody from the page, this is 7 years going and I've raised $600,000.
Wow.
I don't wanna keep yapping, but I got one more good story. I am taking a Vietnam veteran back to Vietnam January 1st this year.
Wow.
He wants to go back and leave the war there. It's just
Oh, wow.
tired of dealing with the PTSD and the anger and everything and we're flying 19 hours to Vietnam.
Wow.
So I am
Great.
going to be doing a piece with Fox 5 News about this and I'll let you know when we can run it on the page and stuff, so.
Perfect.
I really appreciate this. This is.
Thank you for your
Thank you
time.
for all you
Thank
do.
you. Come on up.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah.
Take a picture of it.
Sure, take a photo. Go.
Oh. Hey, you wanna say it?
Not the rest.
Just take a picture.
Best things you get to do.
Yes, that was very fair.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
Anybody want to say a few words? for
Yeah.
Scott, or
You don't want to hear the rest? You don't want to hear the rest? No one? Thank you.
That's the new head coach, right? You can go Giants coach.
Big turnaround.
And the report.
Wish I could.
Oh, I can't. Oh,
Next time you're in there.
oh, I can't.
Oh, thank you.
Here, oh, out there, yeah.
Yeah, on the.
So, Clay, this one's for you.
Yeah.
Right? 'Cause you're the.
That's our veteran. This is for you.
You're a veteran.
Veteran.
On Veterans Day.
Yeah, yes.
This proclamation's for you.
Read it for you.
Won't forget it.
Well, let me read. it.
Make sure you like what he says, though, please.
Yeah. Today, we honor generations of American veterans, patriots who have stood on the front lines of freedom and kept the light of liberty shining bright around the world. Just as they have kept the ultimate faith in our nation, we must keep the ultimate faith in them. And whereas one of our nation's veterans is a link and a chain of honor that stretches back to our founding days, bound by a sacred oath to support and defend the United States of America. Throughout history, whenever and wherever the forces of darkness have sought to extinguish the flame of freedom, America's veterans have been fighting to keep it bright. And whereas democracy is never guaranteed, every generation must preserve it, defend it, and fight for it. Today, we honor all of our veterans, including you, Clay, who have preserved, defended, and fought for our democracy. They prove that we are a nation that can meet darkness with light again and again, no matter how high the cost or how heavy the burden. May we all strive to be worthy of their sacrifices for us, doing our part to keep the light of liberty burning bright for generations to come. And whereas the unwavering commitment of our soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, Coast Guardmen, and merchant Marines have preserved our freedoms and saved millions around the world from tyranny, and whereas we continue to draw inspiration from their heroism and dedication of those who currently serve and sacrifice for a cause of liberty and justice. And whereas in respect of contributions and veterans and their families, caregivers, and survivors have made to the cause of peace and freedom around the world, November 11th of this year shall be set aside as the legal public holiday in honor of our nation's veterans. Now therefore be it resolved that the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Wilkens Lake do hereby recognize November 11th, 2025 as Veterans Day. Signed, Mayor Carlos Rendo, Councilman Christopher Bonanno, Councilwoman Jennifer Margolis, Councilman Benjamin Pollock, Councilwoman Julie Brodsky, Councilwoman Nicole Marsh, and Council President Josh Stern. Congratulations.
You want a picture with all of us? I think Clay wants a picture with all of us. Yeah. Please, like, I want a picture. Like.
You got him? You go, Clay. Don't say cheese, say tree. This is perfect. Cut the head off.
Thank you. Thank you.
Is Bert rocking Michael 17?
Very good. Loves it.
So they gave us thing. My kids are like, my toys. I don't know. I have their own world, so they need this guy. And my kids are.
Yeah.
Do I have candy? Actually, I do. I've got kiwi high shoes.
They still sell this?
High shoes?
I've never had those.
Okay,
I can't,
so now we're gonna come back up to public comment. And Bert Taylor, you're up, right?
Bert Taylor, Woodcliff Lake. Let's see. Anytime there's a discussion of taxes, we all get interested in what's happening with things. And at the September meeting, it was apparent that people, and a lot of people, showed up at Tice's Corner and they were interested in what was happening in town. And it's a major development that's happening in town at this point in time. On tonight's agenda, you've got a resolution 2512 authorizing a financial arrangement on this. And that will be for the pilot arrangement. And there was a request, at least back then in September, that we could find out a little bit more what the pilot arrangement was and what the details are. Is that something, this is the first reading.
Mhm.
Does that mean on the second one, we'll get all of the details?
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. Just wanted to make sure. I ran into something else that gets me a little bit concerned. 188 Broadway is part of the construction that's taking place, and I've had a discussion with Council President Stern as to the number of units that are going in and the number of people. When I look at what's happening with the town, the borough, if you will, I look at BMW, that's certainly happening. We've also got Hilton somewhere down the road. We know it is. We don't have a plan before us, but it's going to be coming soon. And then I look at the whole strip of what's happening along Broadway because that's either in process now or will be in process fairly soon. I've been told, and I don't know if this is official, that we're also going to have a development over where the Woodcliff Inn is, the restaurant over there. So there'll be something.
Great restaurant.
Yeah, yeah, and a good one, I hope too. We all do. Absolutely. So I look at the whole, at the totality of what's happening in town and saying, there's a lot of stuff that's happening in Woodcliff Lake, which is, and I just want to make sure all of it comes out exactly where we're all heading towards on this. And one of the things that I did was I went over to 188 Broadway on Sunday and I said, let me see what's happening over there because there's a question, at least in my mind, whether the fire department can easily get in there and out. And that's up to them. That's not me. I'm not representing them at all. But while I was over there, there was an open house. And I said to myself, let me see what we're having in town. So there was an agent over there and I picked up a card. And to my knowledge, the first tier of units that are closest to the train station will be for the less advantaged, those who would know. The ones closest to there's two rows, if you will.
There's no affordable. It's
No?
37
Okay.
market-rate apartments and 9 townhomes.
Okay, all right, okay,
There's 4 2-bedroom.
that's fair. I really wasn't interested in what's happening because they weren't open, except that the townhomes were open. And I went through there and I said, I'm impressed. If you haven't, go over and see for yourself.
Take the elevator?
No, I couldn't. It isn't open. It's not authorized yet.
No, they're not. They all have elevators.
Yeah, no, I'm aware of that. And they all have stairs going up to them and a whole bunch of things. And they have a porch and they have a fan underneath the porch. And oh boy, I got to see.
Sure, they had an elevator. They were actually, I'm sorry, but I took a tour a couple of weeks ago.
Oh,
Actually
okay.
larger than I thought. What did you think? 'Cause I was actually, wow, I didn't think it was that big.
Well,
Totally
there's a lot of room in it. I like the layout of the shelving and et cetera. The only problem is what they have as a bathtub as one of those scoop ones. It's great for a lot of people, but not for me. I'm just too big for that. So
I'm a little shorter, wasn't it?
yeah, I understand. I'm exceptional on that. But what I got from the person who was representing it was I got a sheet. And it said, here's what's happening with the taxes with this unit. And these were units going for 1.3495 or 1.395, I think it was, depending upon whether you had an end unit or not. I said, well, that's a hefty price.
Would you mind sharing
You
that?
know.
Council?
Can we see that?
You mind with what?
Yeah, no, please go right ahead.
Did it come? Or did you?
So I said, let me see what they're offering. I was impressed by what they had. Is it worth 1.4 million? That's always in the eye of the beholder. All I can say is right now, I read in Forbes magazine, there's 8 areas of the country right now that are starting to go down with the housing prices because of what's happening with the economy. I won't tell anymore, except we may have some problems coming up with the economy, but that's beyond you and me. So it said,
Housing boom.
well, we shall see what happens, right? But I was curious that the word was abatement. And when I look up the word abatement, it's usually between a municipality or a town or what have you, and the developer and the people who are in there. Is this something that you're aware of that is being offered by the town to the people as they go in, that their taxes? Yeah.
It's a settlement of several lawsuits by prior councils. I wasn't before I was
Okay,
joined the council, but it was a settlement and then it involved a third round before what happened. As far as what was decided then, that was addressed then.
Mhm.
We're not looking at abatements for any of the properties involved.
Okay.
And the abatement itself is only to the townhouses, not to the
Right,
apartments.
absolutely
As
true.
far as the implications of the abatement, we're not looking at abating property taxes for any other development.
So that will be unique.
So that, but.
That's right.
It
That
was
situation.
approved. It had to be approved by the council,
I,
by the.
I just wanted to make sure I had, I looked back and I remembered seeing something about it in the notes about 2 years ago or so, and I said, I just, you forget things over time. I saw the word abatement. I said, oh, I'd like to have an abatement too, but you know,
There, what's being done at,
We have to-
UW or could be done anywhere else, we're not looking at abating property taxes for any other development unconsidered.
okay, so that's unique by itself. Okay, and the details of what's going to be in the agreement over here for the pilot program, we will find out the details of.
When will it be put up online?
After it's approved, but also after it's executed, because it has to be executed by both parties.
Got it, okay,
So that will take, some time. It'll be before the meeting, but
okay,
it won't be tomorrow.
It'll be
Got it.
substantial. before you-
Right.
you'll have-
That's a good
you'll
way
have
to
to-
do it.
Okay.
It'll be substantially posted
You'll have
before,
sufficient copies
to review it before that. meeting.
Well,
And then at that meeting.
I
there'll be
I know.
presentation.
It's just, it's September, the word was brought up that there would be a financial review and coming up, and it wasn't there in October, and we're here in November, and it's not here in November. So I'm just waiting until we get more information to know what's happening over there, you know, as to how much is involved in that and how long it is for. Well, I've seen things that we're talking at the federal government of having mortgages that may even be 50 years. If people are not going to be paying substantial, payments to the town for taxes for 50 years, we're in sad shape. So just want to make sure. I thank you. Thank you. Just a clarification.
You're getting one of those, Bert?
yeah, I was gonna say, you getting the end unit?
Not at 1.4. Until the bathtub this week.
We can talk to the builder, Bert.
Do you want this back?
Oh, was
Oh,
it in-
no, me.
Oh,
Thank you.
Thank you. That's very interesting.
Joe, go for it.
Come on up.
Josephine Higgins, 10 Pond Road, Wickliffe Lake. I've known Clay a long, long time, and Clay, I just want to thank you for serving our country. I so appreciate it. I just was over in France with my sisters, and I was able to get a driver and went up to Normandy, saw all the beaches, saw it was
Incredible.
it was unbelievable. I was brought to
It's amazing.
tears when they brought the flags down on either side of the crosses and the Stars of David. It was really moving. Like he said, I'm a little nervous with this abatement. I mean, I just got whacked with $1,000 more each quarter on my taxes and stuff like that. And I've been talking to some of the seniors, and it's nice to give people, these bonuses and stuff like that, but don't we also want to keep, the people that we have here in town? That's all I'd like to say is I hope that you all think about, the people that have lived here a long, long time, like myself, like, Bert and Clay and plenty of other people. And I just hope that goes to the front of your mind when you make these decisions.
As far as the seniors, I mean, they're always front of mind, particularly in the finance committee meetings and
Yeah, but
councilperson.
we're getting whacked with
No, I know.
taxes this time, really.
But a lot of this is outside of the borough's control, it's really within the school, I can tell you, Councilman Pollock and I, when we went over the budget, this increase was probably the lowest in the last 5 years. Like, we really do go through, we do really think it's seniors, and the fact that, for a lot of them, they can't stay in their homes, and so when we talk about tax increases, for pilots, they really are front of mind.
Mhm.
And we really did try to keep the budget down as much as we could this year. There were some increases we couldn't control, like insurance.
Mhm.
But we've also considered that with the pilot, like, we're not giving anything away, and we'll get into more detail with the amount of money at issue.
Okay.
You guys really are front line.
Yeah.
So.
I hope so, because, you know, I just don't, I was shocked at how high, you know, my taxes went, and other seniors that I talked to, you know, this time around. So I like to keep all ages in Woodcliff Lake. It just makes for a greater society, and we have a great society here. So I'll be, you know, listening for the Bateman stuff. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, no one else? Motion to close to the public,
Motion.
the second? All in favor?
Yeah.
None opposed? Motion passes. Mayor's report. First, I'd like to congratulate Councilman Pollock, Councilwoman Marsh on their reelection. And it's great to have you back. We work well together. No, we work well together, and is one of the better councils I've served on. So welcome back. I'm sure Corrado's happy he's back on the zoning board. He does a good job there, and Polsonetti, I guess you'll be hitting baseball somewhere. So, you know, doesn't matter if you're a veteran politician or just jumping into the fray. It's always important to give back to your community, and it's never easy to run. And I wish there weren't any elections, but that's what this democracy is about.
Trump too long.
Yeah, or Fidel Castro, right? No, because, you know, we all work together, and we want to, you know, like I said recently, that once elections are over, we all come together for the benefit of the community. And that's the most important thing, is to reach out to your opposing team, work together to make a better New Jersey. You know, Mikey Sherrill, congratulations to her. And she did say that she would work for the president, so hopefully we could get some needed funds in Woodcliff Lake, like Chris Christie did with Barack Obama with Superstorm Sandy. It's all about New Jersey, and that's what we're concerned about, is making a better life for everyone in New Jersey. So including, and this is where you have the most impact at the local level. So thank you, congratulations for your service. You're in for another 3 years, whether you like it or not. And also, I received a letter from the residents, and I spoke to Tom and John about it. You know, when we deal with this overdevelopment stuff and the amount of new housing coming into our borough, we have to be cognizant of the impact that it has on our community. And I wish that the Department of Environmental Protection in New Jersey would be more astute and cognizant as to that impact, because their job is to protect the environment of our communities. And I'm disappointed in the fact that several of our neighbors are being impacted by overdevelopment, especially the neighbors on the Claremont section of Woodcliff Lake. The developers of the Sony property have filed with the Department of Environmental Protection a request for a waiver on building on wetlands in that section back there. I told the neighbor that I think, and I don't want to speak for the council, but we're pretty much all together in supporting our neighbors in Claremont and filing an objection to that application with the Department of Environmental Protection. So I'm going to ask the council to just basically okay it, so John can send a letter to the DEP and lodge her objection. She did submit a letter to the DEP with pictures of her backyard flooded from the cutting of all the trees back there behind Claremont. And the clear cut of everything has created tremendous flooding for those residents of Wyandamere and Claremont and that section over there. So we have to stand up for our residents and lodge our objection and see whatever other recourse that we could have to prevent this from happening.
Mayor, has she spoken to her neighbors at all, or to try and get other people to?
One of our neighbors was here today.
Brian Rose is here.
Brian
Yeah.
LaRose was
Yeah,
here.
there's a, my wife grew up on 72 Claremont, which is impacted directly by it. And I mean, it really is a shame what happened over at that property. So those, when they initially proposed that, Park Ridge, you know, talking about it, because Park Ridge actually proposed to fight it, they spent over $1 million fighting it, and then, they ended up building more units than they had initially wanted.
Some is Park Ridge, some is Montvale.
I'm sorry?
Some is Park Ridge, some is Montvale.
Some is Park Ridge, some is Montvale. Montvale settled there. I think they're building well over 20 units an acre on the Montvale side. But ever since they settled with Park Ridge, they have sort of let them do whatever they want as far as setbacks, set off on the property. Initially, it was supposed to be a certain distance. They've clear cutted large parts of that property that buffered between the Sony property. There was fairly dense trees, you couldn't actually see Sony, and now it's a 5-story monstrosity in a residential neighborhood. And that's something that people, when we talk about what we're trying to do with affordable housing, we're trying not to have it in residential neighborhoods, because we've seen the lesson of Claremont and how disruptive that can be in people's lives, and frankly, it affects their finances. I mean, most of your wealth is wrapped up into your house, and next thing you know, you're building 5 or 6 story apartment building next to it. Has a huge impact, so.
How much distance were those units supposed to be from the property line?
100 feet,
No, it's 30 foot.
30 foot.
It's 30 foot now, and it is
It's 30 foot
exactly
now.
30 feet.
You say be,
It used to be 100.
Uh-huh,
If you're just-
We walked it during the campaign.
it is,
No, so
And it
just-
doesn't seem like it's 30.
No, Tom,
It's
Ben,
30.
you know, a neighbor reached out to me, Tom and I spoke about it, I spoke to Lyle, Lyle went out with a measure
Okay,
gun,
and it is-
exactly 30 feet. from
because of the
fence.
size of it, it looks.
It's just, yeah, like it was doing tricks on,
30 feet.
And that is what,
Close.
that's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
I think the
100.
No, I think the
No.
setbacks are
30.
30, as per their
Now.
Now.
their settlement.
Correct, I mean, so they got waivers to what the normal process was. There used to be a little gully back there and just very dense trees. You couldn't actually see those parking lots back there.
I think you have our support to.
Yes.
Yeah,
So John sent the letter over to. the EPA.
Mayor, just, it's a matter of, process. We are waiting because we need to get some information from our engineer so that John can.
Isn't there a time period that they?
I
that
believe
give-
it, and I have reached out and I will again reach out again and remind them because. We have to, there has to be, some basis on there and not just, it's a little close, so I know that they.
No,
I was just gonna say, we think it will have more weight with the DEP, if we can
Right.
give them engineering reasons as to why we're objecting.
I thought the plans were either, not Park Ridge Borough Hall, I think that's what the letter said.
I believe they are, no, I believe they are. Or luckily, or for a good thing, Neglia is not only our engineer, but they're also partners, so that should make that a little easier. I thought I would have had that.
Yeah, I just don't want to miss a deadline for
Understood.
projecting.
We will,
Do that
I
process.
will, we'll follow up
Right.
on it again with our engineer.
Right, if not, then we'll send it without it, but it
Yeah.
just will,
No, of course.
will have more weight.
Agreed, I mean,
Yes.
Yeah, let's see if we could send it with it, but maybe if we're running on the deadline, send it without it and then supplement it afterwards.
so it's like 2 week, I think maybe like a 2 week deadline, we need to check.
I'm not sure.
You let me know tomorrow now.
Yes, sir. It's a holiday, but I will, I'll call the engineer tomorrow. It's not a holiday. for me.
We work 24/7.
Yes, I did it.
And that concludes my mayor's report. Council members, report, Councilman Pollock.
Very good, thank you, Mayor. A couple updates from my side. First, congratulations to Councilwoman Marsh on winning re-election.
And yourself.
Thank you. And thank you to Mr. Belgiovine and Paulsonetti for putting their hat in the ring and giving us a good race over the last couple of months. I was going to provide a little more details, but we do not have the MOU on for the agenda this evening. It will be on for our next meeting, but I do want to report to the council that we have reached a tentative agreement, again, still pending the MOU, so not there yet, but on the PBA contract with the police department, so working with Councilman Stern and the PBA bargaining unit, probably for the entire course of 25, I think we sat down in like January, February. I think we've, we're approaching a fair contract for them that would last the next few years. That is both fair for the PBA as well as the municipality. I also want to specifically thank members of the Woodcliff Lake Police Department over the Halloween festivities in town. We did have a sizable tree come down adjacent to many trick-or-treaters. They acted phenomenally in a matter of seconds. I got to witness it with my own eyes, snap into action and really clear the scene, clear kids who were in the area, and really render the situation safe. Thankfully, a set of power lines caught the tree. It could have been much worse, but really great job by the department. Secondly, I drove past the train station a little while ago. It looks like it should be reopened for tomorrow. They were doing final paving on the railroad track, and it appears that the retaining wall is mostly in at the train station as well. So we're excited to see that move forward. Lastly, we do have a resolution on this evening, currently on non-consent. Resolution number 25-262 for the sale of 55 Woodcliff Avenue. Based on some conversations we had just prior to the general session of the council meeting this evening, I personally feel satisfied with what that property is currently zoned for residential and residential use, as well as sort of evaluating the borough's need for that property or lack thereof going forward. I would support the sale, but I would also support and request that the zoning board, should any requests come forward in the future, to change that zoning to leave that as residential or similar type of use. With that, Mayor, I'd like to request a motion to move 25-262 to the consent agenda.
Motion,
Motion.
Second.
all in favor?
Yes.
None opposed. Motion passes. That's it?
Yep.
Okay.
Conclude my report.
Okay. Councilman Bonanno?
Yeah, congratulations, you guys on winning. Great job. I just want to say quickly that I've been on the council now for, I guess, 10 months, 11 months. And it's such an eye opener to see how the town operates and how hard everybody works. So it's been a very interesting and eye opener for me. I just wanted to say, like, the DPW, what I see what they do, I'm on that committee with Councilman Margolis. I think you said it last week, and Judge too. Council President Stern. Yeah, just how hard they do work and how much they care, and it's really nice to see that. So, and that note, with the paving, I think has been going very well. The picking up the leaves and everything is going great right now. So I think they work hard, and that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Councilwoman Brodsky?
Yes, so the initial banners for the veterans are up. We had a total of 18. There's still some room in the park. For new ones, I know that new applications have come in this week, so that's exciting. Just to piggyback on the DPW, congratulations. I do want to thank David and the DPW for, it's a busy time of year with the leaves and everything, but they managed to get all the hardware up for these banners and to really work it into their schedule. So it wasn't just one or two, it was 18. So very much appreciated. What?
David's listening.
Oh, okay.
So is Kevin.
I'm glad he's.
So is Kevin.
As announced in the monthly newsletter, the Bergen County Winter Wonderland Tree Decorating Contest. The theme is Home for the Holidays, celebrating Woodcliff Lake. Our very own students will help decorate with their own handcrafted decorations. Last year, Woodcliff Lake came in second place. And with that, we won a free ice skating session. That there's a correction. The date in the newsletter was incorrect, and it was just because there were a lot of moving parts on the calendar this time period. But the correct date is Thursday, December 18th from 6 to 9 p.m. at Van Son Park. And all residents are welcome. Also this week, the Pascack Hills Players will be performing Radium Girls. The 14th and 15th at 7 p.m. and at the 16th, which is Sunday at 2 p.m. in the Pascack Hills brand new auditorium. Tickets can be purchased online. Our tree lighting, the date is still being looked at. Again, just confirming some dates with those involved. And the menorah lighting is December 14th at Woodcliff Park. And that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Councilwoman Margolis.
Thank you. Just another thank you for those who came to the fire station chili cook-off. There are still t-shirts available if anyone would like them. They're great. They were designed by the firefighters. Councilwoman Marsh and I were a little nervous about it, but they did a great job. They came out great. We raised a couple $1,000s for the fire department, and also the fire department is still soliciting donations and volunteers. So please feel free. There is a QR code or a place to donate. You should have also gotten a flyer in the mail for donation. DPW is getting a lot of love today. I also want to point out that another thing that they did is that they averted a very big issue that happened on Brookview during the paving. They were able to clean out a line before it backed out. And I think that that's important to note that they were there. So I think for all our residents, the 7 that are listening and the 4 in the room, that if you see something that doesn't look right in terms of flooding or anything that happens with weather or some, any new potholes, please let DPW or someone at Borough Hall know, because DPW would like to know those things, and that way they can avert any further problems or disasters. And so we thank them. More importantly, also all of our food pantries are empty around the county. And so we started a food drive along with Park Ridge and Montvale. Notice went up all over. There's specific things that they have asked for, but they will take anything within reason. They do not want leftover Halloween candy. I've tried. But we are lucky enough to have Meals on Wheels located in town, and the pastor at Christ Lutheran Church is the treasurer of the food pantry. So there are food pantry donation boxes in Woodcliff Lake, both here at the police department, at Temple Emmanuel and Pascack Valley. 50 Tice Boulevard, owned by someone in town, has put up a donation box. There are donation boxes in Park Ridge and Montvale and I'm happy to report, when I went into Borough Hall last week, when I went to the police department last week, the box was overflowing, so people are donating. I think it's important to note that we have 29 families in Woodcliff Lake who get SNAP benefits. It has gone up from last year. So while these people are hurting and not getting food, we can help them in any way we can. So please continue to drop off donations. There will also be a turkey drive that the food pantries are going to. If you get your free turkey at ShopRite, the tribal food pantry and the county have frozen trucks and refrigeration trucks that they can fold them. I actually have to give a shout out to Commissioner Zura, who is the head of the Food Security Task Force, who really has got 37 municipalities in Woodcliff Lake to do Bergen County to do a food drive right now, and it really is important. Anything you can give, even if it's 1 can of something, it will make a difference to some. So thank you. I got word from the Woodcliff Lake Baseball Association today that they had some great wins and they wanted to share it with everyone. There were 5 teams in the travel baseball championships. They had 4 champions, varying ages, and 8U played till 7 innings, right, Josh? And
Yes.
came in second.
The 8U team was led by a starting pitcher named Grant Stern.
There you go.
They lost in extra innings. There were many tears shed.
Yes.
But 9U, 10U, 11U, 12U.
Yes, but they're very proud of how far they were coming. I'm sure if we'd like to invite them to a future meeting, they would love to show up.
So you got Councilman.
Actually, I was gonna raise that. I mean, I have
Yeah.
spoken to Joe Block
Yeah.
and some of the coaches, and I think it might make sense to have everybody in. We can arrange it for the December meeting.
Yeah.
Particularly because we will have people at the meeting. No offense to the present company.
Yes,
It might be nice to have all the travel.
and maybe we can ask them all to bring a can of food for the food pantry. And anyone who attends, that would be
Good
great.
idea.
All right, and sorry, 2 more quick things. Chris and I are going to meet about the chamber this week. We finally got some lists and we're gonna come up with a plan of action. I do think that 50 Tice, since they started with the food pantry and they've got businesses there, that we'll be able to sort of tie it together because they are
collecting it there, and they have offered us to have a meeting there if we would like, as well as the Westwood Veterinary Clinic has also offered if we wanted to have a meeting there. So hopefully we'll get all businesses together. It's just hard getting the right person there, but it seems as though our sense of community is growing, so that is great. Film ready, we had more people who have sent pictures over, so we'll be at our limit, so I need to update it, fix the rest of that document, Debbie, and upload a list of vendors in town, which we'll also be able to get from the Chamber of Commerce, so I'll explain how they can tie together, Chris, when we meet later this week.
Yep.
And the last thing is, so we don't all forget, the senior party is December 4th at the Bakari Grill. There are still tickets available. I know some of us up here are going. It's from 12 to 2. It should be a good time, and I've been told there's alcohol there and chocolate, so it will be great. Thank you.
Okay. Councilwoman Marsh.
Thank you. All right, very quickly, congratulations, Beth. Thank you to everybody up here for, being very kind when we ran. There was, a nice campaign. It wasn't any mudslinging or anything like that. And I really enjoyed working with all of you, and I'm very grateful that I get to do it for another 3 years. Okay, about our planning board meeting is actually going to be this Thursday. We have 2 small applications on, and then we will begin discussing 300 Chestnut Ridge Road. This is going to go over into a special meeting, which will be on December 2nd. All of these meetings are here at 7 p.m. unless otherwise noticed. We are approving 300 Chestnut Ridge Road's redevelopment plan and our redeveloper designation tonight. As we mentioned earlier, we do have an introduction of the ordinance that we'll discuss the pilot plan on for tonight. At December 10th, we are going to have our mayor and council meeting. It is not our usual date. We are moving it to Wednesday because we want our professionals to be there to give a presentation, explain what this is, how it will impact the development, how it impacts the town, and they'll be able to answer any questions that people might have. We touched a little bit about the Sony project and how that is not a development project in our town, but how it directly impacts our residents. And we have all watched that. And as Mr. Taylor mentioned, he went to 188 and he saw the high standards that they're putting in and how lovely those units are. And I just want to remind everybody, the 7 of you listening and the 4 of you in the audience, that we really do. Everybody up here takes our commitment to this town extremely seriously. And any development that we're doing, that we're approving, that we're involved in is really held to that high standard. Anything that we're bringing into Woodcliff Lake, we are looking to make an asset to this community, to enhance the lives of our current residents, to be respectful of the residents that will come in with this. And that is especially going to be shown, in some of the projects that we have coming up, just, how we're working very nicely with some of these developers to make sure that any project that's coming in really does reflect the high standards and the design that, is already present in Woodcliff Lake. So please always feel free to reach out to us if you have questions. Again, on Thursday is going to be our planning board meeting for this month, where we will begin discussing 300 Chestnut Ridge Road, and that will go over to a special meeting December 2nd. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman.
So it'll be 7 o'clock this.
I thought we said 7:30.
Oh, no, that's land use.
What? Oh,
Land use board.
It was confusing.
Yes.
Councilman Stern.
Here's going last has its benefits. I was going to mention the baseball teams and the wonderful performance of the Aiton team. I was not there coach. I stopped playing Little League when I was 12 years old. I do want to say a lot of, I know there'll be a lot of questions about the pilot, about the agreements, which will be on the December meeting. I know myself, and I think every council member here is certainly willing to meet with residents, answer all their questions. I know the first time around, I met with Mr. Taylor for multiple hours. Certainly, I'm willing to do that again. I'm willing to meet with anybody. If anybody has any questions, feel free to email me, call me, but also email and call, every other every other council person, right? Because council meeting, you only get 3 minutes if you're Mr. Taylor, you get 6 minutes, but everybody gets 3 minutes because there needs to be an orderly process. But if you have questions before the meeting, please ask them, because all of us really do wanna, answer your questions, as best we can. And we also have borough professionals, and if you have a question we can't answer, before the meeting, we can reach out to the professional and get that answer. So, some of us have worked, very hard on a lot of this stuff. It's taking, many, many months, me and Ms. Marsh have worked probably the last 2 years on this affordable housing stuff, nonstop. So it really has taken a lot of time, a lot of it you can't report in a committee report, but please reach out to us and we'd be happy to answer all questions.
Thank you, Councilman.
Mayor, I forgot to talk about something in my report, and I think we all forgot to mention it.
Okay.
Regarding the ordinance regarding sanitation.
Resolution.
Resolution for sanitation. I know that there are a couple of people listening, going to outsourcing garbage, the garbage pickup in the town, which will stay to once a week and will be moved to the curb, which is in line with the recycling as it is at the curb, and that has changed over the past 4 years, and it has not been too big of a heavy lift for residents. And so we found this to be the best thing, as we are one of the only town in the Passaic Valley who still picks up garbage by our own sanitation workers. And it seems as though for DPW to operate even better than they already do and have time to do other projects. And with other developments that are going in our new park and everything like that, we have decided that going to the same company that does our recycling will be the best option moving forward to help our DPW department even progress further. So, thank you.
One quick housekeeping matter, I do want to move, resolution number 25265 is on the non-consent agenda just based on its, when it was, added, based on its time. I'd like to move that, make a motion to move that to the consent agenda.
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
None opposed. Very good. Tom, you want to say anything?
Well.
Well, it's up to you.
Just so, for clarification, that resolution that Council President and Council just moved is in reference to a plan that we are adopting, we're adding to our health benefits. It's a high deductible plan, and one of the reasons this is also being done as a result of the negotiations that these two gentlemen led with our PBA. Our future officers and actually some of our current officers will be moving as part of their negotiations to a high deductible plan. This saves us money in the premiums, and over the course of years to come, the savings should even continue to grow. So I want to commend our health benefits consultant, Mr. Corelli, who really helped us along with that.
And I just want to add quickly, one of the biggest drivers of whatever increase we had last year in taxes really was driven by insurance costs. And so that was really a priority when we sat down with the PBA. I don't want to discuss too much into it because we still don't have an MOU, but the, lowering our benefits costs really was paramount importance so that we could return money to the residents. So.
The other thing I'll just touch really quick is 259, and that's continuing our lease agreement with the Apostolic Church across the street. That allows our residents to use the parking. Although it's not as highly utilized as it used to be in the past, some of the cars have returned. There's about a dozen cars there. It used to be always full. So we'll have that agreement for the next 5 years if approved tonight. And unless there's any, just one last thing, because I just saw savings on this Sunday, November 16th, Triborough Volunteer Ambulance Corps is doing a recruitment open house at their headquarters, which is in Park Ridge, 10 Mill Lane, from 12 to 4. You might see some signs. There's a sign out in front, and there's signs across the 3 towns. During that meeting, you can meet members, learn about training opportunities, find out how to join. So we highly encourage, and it's 16 and up, right, Joe? I believe they saw age 16 and up. So obviously, our Triborough Volunteer Ambulance does an enormous amount of job, and obviously all volunteer. So anyone who is interested, I encourage you to go to the open house, learn some more, and get involved.
Okay, very good. All right, ordinance, introduction ordinance number 25-12. An ordinance of the Borough of Woodcliff Lake and the County of Bergen, New Jersey, authorizing financial agreements between the Borough of Woodcliff Lake and RW Woodcliff Lake Urban Renewal LLC. Motion for introduction,
Second.
Roll call?
Yes.
Mr. Banana?
Yeah. It's getting late.
Sir? Ms. Brodsky?
Yes.
Ms. Margolis?
Yes.
Ms. Marsh?
Yes.
Mr. Pollak?
Yes.
And Mr. Stern?
Yes.
Motion passes.
All righty. Consent agenda. Motion to accept the consent agenda as drafted, as amended.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Any opposed? None. Motion passes. Motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Oh,
The new meeting day.
Yes,
oh,
it was mentioned by Councilwoman Marsh, the meeting, which will be, December tenth, Wednesday, December tenth.
That either the mayor has to announce it as his decision or the council. has
Well, he's
to-
asking me, to announce it.
yeah. Announce
I know, right? Per the mayor, so December tenth, it's a special meeting at 7:30 p.m.
Yes.
And it will be at
Nice.
Tice. So, I guess we have to take a.
No, the mayor has the right to call the meeting himself before members of the council.
So it's the
Okay.
new meeting date, not.
For the mayor.
meeting.
We're all-
That's a new mayor.
Meeting.
Everybody on board.
Yeah.
Yes.
So people
Everybody
don't
in
think
favor.
it's.
Yeah.
It'll be posted on.
It'll be posted,
It'll
it'll be
Yeah.
Tice, 7:30 p.m.
And it's starting at 7:30 after the Dorchester Choral concert.
And it's Wednesday, December tenth. No other meetings that month, so it's the change in date of our mayor and council meeting.
And
It's
just.
not a special, it's just a change in date.
And, Mr. Taylor, that meeting, our auditor, who has been the lead on the financials for all this information, will be making the presentation. As well, our redevelopment attorney, our redevelopment planner, obviously the mayor and council will be there, but, all right, so.
Motion to adjourn?
Motion.
all in favor?
Yes.
None opposed? Motion passes.
Okay. Now, see-
Happy birthday,
Someone
Skylar.
suggested, someone suggested Heart and Tap, and it was that.
Iron Horse School at 9.
So Heart and Tap.
Guy with the best burgers.
Are the guys-
Do they really?